All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire in all truth and in all truthfulness and in all sincerity. And shalom to the shalom to the rest of the elect out there, man. Shalom to all y'all, man. All right, all right. This live is gonna be about Biden, about Joe Blow talking about a winter of extreme illness. Let me get it. A winter of severe illness and death for the unjuiced, man. And hey, man, this devil keep talking about dark winter, dark winter. Keep talking about it, bringing up that it's going to be a dark winter. He brought that up last year, and been talking about even bringing up dark winter. Like, there's so many references to dark winter. You have this Operation Dark Winter, and then you have now you got Biden saying that talking about a winter of extreme illness and death. And you look at the situation, and hey man, hey, call out how about Shimmy Shah is giving the spirits to do another live, man. Winter is severe, so back to back live. Call out how about Shimmy Shah is still on fire, but winter is severe illness and death for the unjuiced, man. And you look at all these. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. Dark Winter. Just gonna look up Dark Winter on this DuckDuckGo site, man. Dark Winter, man. Dark Winter. Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. You have them, like what I brought out, right? You have yeah, a real dark winter is being prepared, yo. You have entering the dark winter. Fauci says U.S. may face. I'm focused on mainstream references. Fauci says U.S. may face dark winter because that's from the horse's mouth. Fauci says U.S. may face dark. Face dark winter, but it can be avoided. So-called if Americans get juiced up, man, get fully juiced up. U.S. is likely headed for a dark winter. Yup, dark winter, man. Dark winter. How the sun is causing a 30-year cold spell. Biden, yeah, dark winter, man. Dark winter. Long, cold, dark winter. Hey, I'm gonna mention some of these other sites as well, but you have it from Biden, and you have it from Funky Cheese, man. From Dr. Funk E Cheese, man. Emphasis on E. Funk E Cheese, man. Or the funky cave monkey. Dr. Funky Cheese, the funky cave monkey. He mentioned the dark winter as well, man. Dark winter, man. R. Rose Lee. Yo, man, it's so hey, hey, man. So it's all out there, man. Yeah. Slack for that, man. Why is the corporate media predicting the dark winter? So these devils is putting it right in front of your face. Why is the corporate media predicting the dark winter, man? And this was back in 2020, but you see that it didn't really pan out like that. That was like the dark winter test run. So you have shoot. This is corporate. Yeah. This article, why is it's like a what you would call alternative media site, right? Why is the corporate media predicting a dark winter? Earlier this week, I reported how America's 6 companies control almost everything we see in the corporate media. On a corporate news network, it's common to use doctors to get a specific message across to the public by using their appeal to authority, where facts and real science are not even needed to convince the message. See, yeah, he had an article on that. Basically, 6 companies own almost all the media in the U.S. It's true. Using medical doctors to sell their message. Quote unquote. Doctors, remember? Why are they being called doctors? This is true beyond just the corporate media news broadcast, which you have witch doctors and you have shit that's doctored, you know? And it's for both reasons, really. But he won't tell you that. This is true beyond the corporate media news broadcasts, which are controlled by the billionaires on Wall Street, particularly the pharmaceutical industry today. Pfizer, man. The video showing Pfizer endorsing all that. And it makes sense. But it goes beyond just news broadcasts, as the propaganda can be even more effective in the entertainment industry where critical thinking skills are relaxed, all in the name of entertainment. Earlier in this year, the film "quote unquote" Out of Shadows was released online by Hollywood. Oh yeah, I remember that. It was about that shit. It was about like that, the media being control, all that shit, man. They're sad on government, bro. They really run the bitch. But so that But this is a must watch for anyone who has not seen it yet. One of the news buzzwords being used in the corporate media, yeah, that Out of Shadows movie, recommend if you can still get it. But one of the new buzzwords being used in the corporate media recently is the mention of a quote unquote dark winter for 2020. Joe Biden mentioned it also in the last debate. This is a term that has a previous history, and Derek Bros, who's recently banned on YouTube and has popular channel removed, has created a new 12.5-minute documentary on the history of this term and what it means. This is not a conspiracy quote unquote theory document, but it's full of speculation, as you will see. And remember, back in July this year, we published this document, the comments of CDC Director Robert Redfield, that showed that they were already planning and expecting quote unquote massive deaths this fall. Hey, they was gonna make their move back then, bro. But like yo, they postponed it. As you can see, I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen this winter. Like it's almost a guarantee. No, it's not. It's almost a guarantee. Given further evidence that this is all a big plan in place for perhaps coincide. Oh yeah, this was back then with the national elections coming this week. See, the CDC is planning for massive deaths this fall. So they've been planning for it. If you had not viewed the document Plandemic produced by Mickey Wells, which gives solid historical evidence that this kind of quote unquote, the demic, right? The P. Diddy has been planned for years now. This too is a must viewing if you want to be fully informed and not be subject to the mind control phase of the corporate media. See, and then you also have that Plandemic full feature film released online amidst tremendous opposition and attempts to censor it. There you go. Got that as well. Event 201, it's all simulated, right? Another outright exercise known as Crimson Contagion. Yep. Simulated outbreak of a respiratory virus originating from China. From August 13th to August 6, 2016, 2019, Trump's Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, headed by Alex Azar, partnered with numerous national, state, and local organizations for the exercise. According to the results of the October 2019 draft report, the spread of the novel avian influenza resulted in 110 million infected Americans, 7.7 million hospitalizations, and 586,000 deaths. So another simulation known as Clade X took place on May 2018. That's what it is, man. Man, what the fuck, dude? I'm gonna check. But I just got up to check. And yeah. I'm busy, I can't really like do that. Can't be, gotta focus on this work right now. In the simulation, the virus was released by a terror group called a Brighter Dawn. Interesting. You're gonna see why that's interesting. Unquote. As the outbreak spread throughout the United States, participants asked what would be needed if the president issued a federal quarantine, noting that authorities would need to quote unquote determine the level of force authorized to maintain quarantine. Quote unquote. The Glade X experiment also resulted in the federal government nationalizing the healthcare system. The leaders of these controversial, what are they doing? These National Guard troops all look in the hospitals, man. Think about it. Slap. Got something to drink. You had that in a minute. You see that as well, man. The federal government saying the National Guard take place of healthcare workers. Come on now. The leaders of these controversial pandemic simulations that took place before the Crown Royal 1984 district crisis, the long-standing connections to U.S. intelligence and U.S. Department of Defense. Yep, it's about bioweapon, man. That's in that it's in that jibber jabber, man. It's in that shit they give me, man. There, man. Now they giving you a damn bioweapon, bro. I'll pour some of this out just in case. Man, just in case a bug got me, bro. I have a problem with bugs. Probably not. I didn't see no bug in there. But let me continue on. The leaders of these controversial pandemic simulations that took place before the coronavirus crisis was Slovakia, the Crown Royal. Damn, Crown Royal, that, the 1984 edition that spread virally. Crisis has long connections to the U.S. intelligence and U.S. Department of Defense. Even more troubling is that key players in the exercise, specifically Event 201 and Clade X, share a common history in another warfare simulation known as Darkest Winter. The Dark Winter exercise took place in June 2001, only months before the 9/11 false flag attacks. This exercise took place at Andrews Air Force Base in hold on. The Camp Springs, Maryland. That shit's like a bitch and a half long, real talk. That shit's a headache. It's a lot of you. That shit's a headache, bro. Yeah, bro, it's not. Hold on. Move this shit on. I'm not sure. Oh, what is this shit? I think it's that. I think it's bugs. I don't know about this shit. I don't know about this. Bugs. That was a bug. I'm not sure. I'm gonna take care of that later on because I have a pest problem. So it's fuck, bro. It's like I'm really going through it, yo. The Dark Winter exercise took place in June 2001, only months before the 9/11 attack. Okay, kind. This exercise took place at Andrews Air Force Base in Camp Springs, Maryland, and involved several congressmen, a former CIA director, a former FBI director, government insiders, and privileged members of the press. The exercise simulated the use of smallpox as a biological weapon against the American public. During the Dark Winter exercise, authorities attempted to stop the spread of dangerous misinfo, and then verify cures, just like with the Event 201 simulation. Dark Winter further discusses the suppression and removal of civil liberties, such as the possibility of the president to invoke the Insurrection Act, which would allow the military to act as law enforcement upon request by a state governor, as well as the possibility of quote unquote martial rule or martial law. Same thing. The script says martial rule may quote unquote include, but are not limited to, prohibition of free assembly, national travel ban, quarantine to certain areas, suspension of the writ of habeas corpus, i.e., arrest without due process, and on military trials in the event that the court system becomes dysfunctional, quote unquote. What's important? And what do you have? Like, stalemate in the courts, man, the court system. So it's all there, man, all by design. All by design, man. What is important to note is that Dark Winter was largely written and designed by Tara O'Toole and Thomas Inglesby of the Johns Hopkins Center, along with Randy Larson and Mark Demir of the Analytic Services Answer Institute of Homeland Security. O'Toole, Inglesby, and Larson were directly involved in response to the alleged anthrax attacks, which took place in the days after 9/11. These individuals personally briefed V.B. Cheney on Dark Winter. Coincidentally, Event 201 was co-hosted by the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, which is currently led by Dark Winter co-author Thomas Inglesby. Tara O'Toole was also a key player in the Glade X simulation. Yep. I want to use some crappy chemicals, man. Oh, shit. Shit is fucking annoying. Shit is fucking with me. The name of the exercise stems from a statement made by Robert Cadlick, a veteran of the George W. Bush administration and a former lobbyist for military intelligence contractors. In the script, Cadlick states that the lack of smallpox, juice, the lack of that, type of juice for the U.S. populace means it could be a very dark winter for America, quote unquote. Cadlick is now, it's very similar to what Joe Blow and Dr. Funky Cheese, the Funky Cave Monkey, is saying, right? Cadlick is now leading HHS's Crown Royal 1984 edition response and was also involved in the Trump administration's 2019 Crimson Contagion exercise, quote unquote. Oh, okay, interesting. Eerily, Cadlick's statements in 2001 exercise were recently repeated nearly word for word by Richard Bright, former director of Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority. Bright was recently celebrated as a whistleblower who attempted to hold the Trump administration accountable during the Crown Royal 1984 edition battle. However, while speaking in front of Congress, Bright stated without clear planning and implementation of the steps that I and other experts have outlined, 2020 will be darkest winter in modern history. Now, maybe Bright is simply a concerned scientist warning about the potential for more sick people, but his use of the phrase, quote unquote, darkest winter is hard to ignore. So they've had this in the works, man. While hearing the statements from, like, that was the Dark Winter trial run. The winter 2021 was the Dark Winter trial run. When hearing the statements from Cadlick and Bright, we ought to consider the corporate media's promotion of a potential quote unquote second wave. That was back then, right? Of the 1984 edition drink. Bill, the 1984 edition shit that's spreading virally, man. It's popping like that. Just popping up and shit, according to, these devils, right? Bill Gates and other influential pundits and health authorities have consistently warned about a second wave, which was stated to arrive in the fall of 2020 as of mid-October. So this is back then, right? As of mid-October 2020, reports are beginning to come in that cases are on the rise. So it makes a statement from Richard Bright all the more concerning. So back then, they was trying to do it, man. That's they finna, yo, man. And that Civil War, um, possibility that was back then is still a possibility because these states is not finna, like, you have certain, like I said, man, it's set up that way, man. You have certain states that's not finna, like, hold on. I'm gonna look outside and see if they're maybe don't. Probably not. Somebody give us probably. It's probably, yeah, no, it's noisy. Ain't got nothing to do with it. Probably ain't got nothing to do with it, but just because I'm expecting someone, I keep checking. But yeah, Salakia. Well, basically, yeah, man, they was finna do it then, but they decided to do just a test run, man. It's a test run, but that Civil War is that Civil War. Yeah, man, that Civil War, bro. That Civil War, bro. They're hold on. That Civil War is a real possibility still, man. Because you have these states. You have the, it's called a Hegelian dialect, bro. The thesis and the anti. Then you have an antithesis, man. So you have a thesis, then you have an antithesis, then you have a synthesis. A thesis, and the antithesis, then a synthesis. That's how they do it, man. The gradualism and shit. And so you have one side. Then they control both sides. Remember the Rockefeller Masonic Creed, right? They control both fronts, man. And so you have, the thesis represent, Joe Biden, right? And the pro mandate Democrats mainly, right? Have them and those states. And then you have, that's how Esau does it. Then you have the Republicans, which is supposed to be opposed to all that. Nah, man, that's against our rights. We not fucking with it, man. You have the Republicans, which is supposed to be opposed to it, man, and you have them controlling both sides, man. And what's happening is people is flocking. And one thing, you have these people that don't want to take the yo jabba jabba juice, right? People that don't want to take that shit, man. Migrating to these states, man, from the Democratic Midwestern states, the East Coast, Democratic East Coast states, and Democratic the West Coast states. Let me just say that. Migrating to these other areas like Texas and Florida is huge areas for that. Because those they're well-known states and they're huge, well-known states and huge economies and shit, and they're known to be like they're known, like people know them to be or like they have this reputation of freedom loving whatever, right? Like they're not gonna be, like they're not for the mandates because they're against your rights type shit. And so you have them flocking over here. You have these mandate people flocking over here from these different areas, man. If they can get there, they flocking over here. And you have the government's acting like they're for it, but what? But for one thing, you have a law. One of those type of states, Tennessee, right, where they can detain you if you they consider you to be mentally ill and shit. And then you have another law which they use that to come against they're using that to come against those that report symptoms of the of the shit of getting hit with that juice, man. Getting a dose of that, getting hit of that juice, man. You have they're being called basically mentally ill, man. And you have they're being called that. And you have in the Florida law, like if the government deems it all right, if the state deems it that you gotta take the shit, man, that you gotta get bit, man, you gotta get bit. They can force you, and so they create little loopholes like this, which show you that they're just controlled opposition. Abbott, DeSantis, and them, man. Shit, even Trump, man. Trump ain't even claiming. When you really examine it, instead of being like, well, the opposite to Biden must be Trump. And when you really examine it, Trump, he hasn't really came against, the juice like that, man. He's not really against it. In fact, he's advised his supporters to get this shit, man. So Trump is not against it, man. In fact, when he was president, when he was the figurehead, he gave away the government, the control of the U.S. government to FEMA, man. You remember that? He gave it away to FEMA. So that dude was controlled opposition all the way, man. Because he told you he was like against the deep state or whatever. But what the fuck? That's some deep state type shit, man. He gave control he gave over the reins to FEMA and shit. Like, come on. That's not consistent with what he told the people. And so you had that, and you had Operation Warp Speed and shit. Come on, man. To develop what? Develop what? The juice. So, yeah, man. Both sides are controlled by the elites, really. Both sides are controlled by the elites, and what they're doing is thesis versus antithesis, man. That's what they're doing. But what's gonna come out of that? What they're doing is causing a civil war between both sides, man. They are actually setting it up. That civil war, man, which they've been building up for a while, man. When you really look at it and you examine the situation, they've been building up that civil war type situation. I believe the second civil war type situation. Really, you look at it since the 90s and shit, man. That's when it really, when you had that huge backlash to the Clinton and shit, man. The 90s. Really since then, man. But even before then, they've just been setting the stage. But the issues that they was whole time after that, the first Civil War set it up for the second Civil War. And they just been preparing it, been making the final steps to prepare it. We really look at it ever since the 90s. And then continue on down, man, east side. So you had Clinton, you had him get off, and you had the Republicans mad, and you had the right wingers mad, and you had these radio. Yeah, even I say Reagan played his role because Reagan cleared the way for these radio shock dogs, basically them, man, Rush Limbaugh and them, which shit's all connected, bro. Trying to push that agenda, trying to push basically therefore middle America and shit. And then you have they had them blasting it, and then you had Bush, the election be rigged for Bush, and middle America be off for Bush and shit. and including him too. He was for Bush, and you had but it was rigged. He didn't really win the popular vote, so you had that conflict. And this time, you had those on the Democratic side be pissed off. And 2004, same thing was rigged in Ohio. Look at what happened there. It was rigged with the machines, and you had them be pissed off. But now you had them being demonized as not patriotic, unpatriotic because of the 9/11 false flag. You had Obama, and you had because Obama was not like he's got melanin in his skin and he's probably a Hamite. But hey, I'll say this: it could be that he's an Edomite, bro. Hey, he's like an Edomite foreigner. Wouldn't be surprised. But he doesn't look like your typical fucking Edomite, which pissed off the proud red Republican devils. It pissed them off. And those that sympathized with him, it pissed them off. And in 2012, it was all that with Obama birth certificate, and then actually that's when they got Trump in the mix, man. That's when they got Trump in the mix. They was setting that dude up, man. That's when they got him in the mix, man, to so-called be a savior of middle America and shit. That's when you had Trump got set up, Because he was all for Obama. When you look at it, Trump was for Obama when he was getting up in there. He was best friends with the Clintons, all that, man. Trump was not. Trump was so-called like on the Democratic side. Most of the time, you look at it when Bush was president and shit. And then, why the pivot to the right, man? After the election of Obama, man. Come on. And so you had that after the selection because he was all selected. You had that, man. You had Trump first run 2012. That was them getting, pushing out the pot, bringing up the possibility. See, that's a way of predictive programming as well, man. See. Because you saw Trump get up in there, man. You saw Trump, and you saw that one dude who like looked like a Jake, man. That he was like with a Fed, I think before. That he was a Republican presidential candidate. You had that, man. Businesses. Possibility that someone who had never been in politics getting in the office. And then what you have, 2016 election, man. Trump getting in there despite not winning the popular vote, man. And saying all that shit, man. Saying all that shit about Jake, man. About Ishikar. Ishikar, they're basically, he didn't say illegal. Like, that's the thing. But you had the right wingers defend his comment, man. The comments and claim that that was the case. But he didn't say illegal. He just said Mexicans. Mexicans, man. Rapists and drug dealers. It's true. He did say that. And they defended him and they put him up in there. Why? To piss off Jake. Get these so-called liberals riled up because they got to show that they're friends of Jake and shit. And to get them riled up as well. And they don't believe in like showing the hatred outwardly and shit. And get them riled up. And then you had the Republicans, they was like, hey, yeah, deal with it, motherfuckers. Basically, like the whole time. And they was thinking they was finna win, and he was talking about the deep state. We come against the deep state and shit. Because he was appealing to those far right Republicans that was like not fucking with Bush. The types that wasn't fucking with Bush, and they definitely wasn't fucking with Obama, right? It wasn't fucking with either, man. these far right patriots and shit, man. That's who he was appealing to. And then what happened? 2020, like whole time, he didn't do it. He didn't do nothing for him. He just talked. He just talked, but because the media attacked him, the and they're known as like the knowledge just come out that they're 1948 or run, right? So because the media attacked him, right? Get this. Because the media attacked him, they were thinking, oh yeah, he must be doing some. He must be doing some. But every so often he had Fox come in. But even Fox was like, this Fox is like a mainstream conservative network, news network, right? Well, so-called news network, right? Fox News, right? So when you had even them sometimes not stand with Trump, it was like a confirmation. See, and you had Q, man, which was set up by totally set up by Esau, man. Come on, totally set up by Esau. To this day, don't know who the fuck he is. I do military intelligence straight up, man. Telling he got the Trump supporters trusting in Trump still, man. So you have that, and then you had the January 6th, which was staged. You had that. You had the election be rigged for Biden, and you had that staged, and them being demonized and shit. Ultimately, to start cause a civil war, man, because they're being demonized by the media. They're being demonized by the government. We can feel some type of way, and then Trump is the only one that's really like got them. Yeah, man. So they've been engineering this civil war, man. They've been, they've been doing it, man. Because now, especially during 2012 and then really after that, 2016 and 2020, really shit got heated, bro. Civil war like tensions even more, man. 2010, really 2010, 20 like it wouldn't really start picking up. 2016, 2010, you have to look at those. 2006 and 2010, 2008 victory for Democrats in 2010, so-called victory for the base. Damn it, Slovakia from sounding all like I'm all over the place, but basically like in 2010 it picked up, even more. 2010, 2014, 2012, 2014, 2016, high points, 2018, 2020, and then, leading up to now, man. Now they're trying to push a mandate. They're trying to push really a federal mandate. Really, they want to force that shit down everybody's arms, man. Like, I want to mandate that shit across the board after Biden said we ain't gonna mandate that shit. That was a lie, man. And so when they come with that mandate, it's gonna be a civil war, man. Because I got another article, and I'm bringing this up because they did something called auto ad KO2. That's why I'm bringing this up. Governor Abbott, he said, man, like, we ain't fucking with it, bro. Basically, we ain't fucking with it. And so you see it going down, but hey, man, even Trump, man, he was involved in like pushing the jabba juice, man. So I mean, you can't even trust him. I ain't Alice. Come on. They're also trying to make an example of Texas, because Texas ain't really. It's the populace that's not really fucking with it. So hold on. Let me hold on. Let me get this right here. Cause let me get this. Gov Abbott announcement today about how he ain't fucking with it. And which is gonna lead to what? Which is gonna lead to what? Another like cold, dark winter for Texas, man. Yep. Governor Greg Abbott, he's gonna ban any mandates, yo. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said Thursday that the Lone Star State will not impose Joe Biden's Crown Royal 1984 edition mandate, on Texas National Guard. He's not with mandating the juice, is what he's saying, right? In August, Abbott issued an executive order barring the implementation of a mandate by any governmental entity in Texas. The move came after the governor ordered Texas assault adjutant. Let me see. Fuck. Adjutant. Is that really what? Adjutant. Okay, it is. Okay. Adjutant General Tracy Norris not to penalize guardsmen for rejecting the job in October. Abbott wrote and pointed a letter to Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, quote unquote, as Governor of Texas, I'm the Commander-in-Chief of the state's militia in that capacity on October 4, 2021. Okay, it's back then. Anyway, stand by it. Let me get it. I ordered the Adjutant General of Texas to comply with my executive order GA 39 if unjuiced guardsmen suffer any adverse consequences within the state of Texas, they will have only Joe Biden and his administration to blame. The state of Texas, quote unquote, the state of Texas will not enforce its latest mandate against its guardsmen. If the federal government keeps threatening to defund the Texas National Guard, he said, I will deploy every legal tool available to me as governor in defense of these American heroes. So see what it is? The governor concluded. Austin previously warned the service members who objected to being knocked up could face loss of not like that, to taking a hit, could face loss of pay and be marked absent without cause from certain duties. In November, Austin turned down a request by Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt, Republican, for Oklahoma National Guard be exempt from the DOD's requirement that all military members, get the, take the hit, man. Stitt, a Republican, had asked Austin in early November to suspend the mandate for members of the Oklahoma Guard. A spokesman for Stitt, Charles Hannema, said in response to Austin's rejection letter that the governor maintains its positions that he is the commander-in-chief of the Oklahoma Guard while they are on Title 32 status, meaning while they're on active duty under state-controllable pay and benefits provided by the federal government. So there you go, man. Yeah, man. Thesis versus antithesis, man. Thesis versus antithesis. Yep. He goes further than Alaska to defend National Guard from the jail. Okay, because this is Alaska article, man. Because you had that governor saying that the U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin reconsider the mandate that all National Guard members get the jab, get the hit or face punishment. 2 days later, Texas Governor Greg Abbott went a step further, telling Austin flat out that Texas will not impose a mandate on its National Guard members. Yeah, so you see, man, he said that he ain't finna do it, bro. Abbott's December 16th, so he signed the executive. Governor Abbott, however, has been actively defending his guardsmen for months. So you see, in August, he signed the executive order preventing government entities in Texas from enforcing the mandates. That was followed up with October order that guardsmen not be punished for declining the experimental shots, man. You know yeah. Abbott's December 16th letter, today. So Secretary Austin comes after the Department of Defense threatens to cut off the flow of federal dollars for those guardsmen who won't get juiced up late last month. That was his response. Shit, man. So you see that Civil War is also being cooked up, man. That they also, that's part of the agenda, which they eventually gonna, they gonna come down. Though how they gonna come down, and that's gonna be the excuse to take both the guns and the Bible, man. The First and Second Amendments. Both. See everybody out here. Take both the First and the Second Amendment. There's nobody out there, bro. In August, okay, yeah, man. So he's basically straight up saying, nah, we ain't finna do it, basically. But you see how they're gonna come. You see how they're gonna come. They're gonna use that basically to take the guns. Ah, man, these motherfuckers have control over them, and to take so that's the family of the word as well, man. All right, man. So we gotta ban the scriptures. So they're gonna come, man. And the scriptures going in on that. This shit froze up on me because Esau's mad. Devil's mad. Devil's mad. Devil. Hey, call y'all Bashim, y'all shot Bashim Kakadash. I'm still live after Esau kicked me out. Shalom Akia Yahweh Shim Yahweh Shai Bashim Kakadash Brakata. These devils, they're getting ready to make their move. They've been setting up their move for a minute now. Biden talking about a dark winter again. winter of severe illness and death for the unjuiced. Esau is getting ready to come with that great wrath, man. He's engineering, that civil war as well, man. He is engineering that as well, man. This civil war, engineering that shortage, that famine, the global energy crisis as well, shortages of oil, natural gas, propane, coal. These devils is getting it ready, man. Well, so they engineering and all that. And so, these devils, man, honestly wouldn't be surprised if they did, if these Edomites, they, if these Edomites, they, he warned of dark winter in October 20th, 2020, and also, these devils is warning of that. So basically, and hold on, dark winter for the unjuiced. He actually, yep, if you're juiced up and have your booster shot, you're protected from severe illness and death, quote unquote. He said, Biden said on Thursday, which is bullshit. And by the way, it's bullshit. And brief remarks to the press as he met with his Crown Royal 1984 coordination team at the White House, quote unquote, due to the steps we've taken. Omicron has not spread as fast as it could not have otherwise done. Biden, quote unquote, Biden added, quote unquote, but it's here now and the spreading is going to increase. Yep, and then he tried to say a number and he fucked it up. And then he said, quote unquote, we are looking at the winter for severe illness and death for the unjuiced up. Yep. That dark winter, how the sun is causing the 30-year cold spell. That was so another meaning to dark winter, which I wouldn't be surprised if this winter was that fucking cold, man. But this book says global cooling instead, basically, which you could see how that was like written back in 2014, and you could see how these devils is basically more of that predictive programming and shit. But they're gonna blame it on global warming, though. Well, basically, Esau, basically, yeah, man, it's about to. I wouldn't be surprised if this winter was cold as fuck too. Also, seeing what happened in Hawaii with that blizzard, wouldn't be surprised. And then they're gonna blame it on what? Climate change, global warming. They're gonna say it's somehow connected, like last time. And you had Fauci even saying that shit, so wouldn't be surprised. And they're gonna do it to like also push the carbon taxes and shit. But hold on. So let me get hold on. Let me get cell scriptures. Let me get Matthew chapter 24. Get that one scripture. In Matthew chapter 24, verse 20. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Shabbath day. Verse 21, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the word to the world, Slakia, the world. To this time, no, never shall be. For then shall be great tribulation, such was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, ever shall be. Verse 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. And, these devils, man, I wouldn't be surprised if they ultimately the Most High Yahweh got it set up when Jacob's trouble was going to begin, right? I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, honestly, wouldn't be surprised at all if they make the move this winter, man. And Like I'm just saying, I'm not setting dates. I wouldn't be surprised if if it go down, if these devils, they gonna bring shit hits the fan. If it's the will, the Most High Yahweh for all for the shit to hit the fan. For Jacob's trouble to begin. Like on that holiday, man, on Saturnalia, known as Christmas today, man. Because it's not only is it like in the winter, right? Which are already in the winter in actuality, but it's further down in the winter, like close to January. Also, when they talk about, they're gonna make some major moves. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts, something happens that gets this gets Jacob's trouble heart started, man. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened on December 25th. That actually happened on that day. I honestly wouldn't be surprised, man. Honestly, wouldn't at all, man. Wouldn't be surprised if it happened. People are not expecting it. People are expecting also that too, man. It's a Shabbat too, and people steady going off, man. It's so that holiday, man. Christmas falls on the Shabbat this year, man. And they're going to be celebrating Saturnalia. 2/3 are going to be celebrating Saturnalia on the Shabbat, man. That alone, man. And then the week after Janus Day, man, aka New Year's, on the Shabbat, setting off fireworks and shit like that, barbecuing and shit like that, all that, get fucked up, all that, everything they be doing on New Year's, right? On really the false New Year's, aka Janus Day, they're gonna be doing that on the Shabbat. On the Shabbat. Can be started to be done. This is like 24. Let me look at it. Because I believe a brother brought it out, No, a brother did bring it out. No, I believe he did bring it out, but I'm gonna see when it is, man. It's on Saturday. Okay, so you have Friday Eve to Saturday Eve. Also, Jane is, yeah, man. Yeah, no, NYE is gonna be on the Shabbat too, man. NYE is gonna be on the Shabbat. So I believe the Shabbat is Friday Eve to Saturday Eve this month. All right, so yeah, December 3rd, Friday Eve to Saturday Eve. I was right. The evening of December 3rd, which was a Friday, when you look at it. For today's the 13th, so 17th be Friday 17th, right? Friday Eve to Saturday Eve. So this week it would be the 17th to the 18th. Next week it would be the 24th to the 25th. The week after would be the 31st to the 1st. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Most High Yahweh will really, he gets this thing, started, kicked into high gear, man. He kicks it into high gear on the second and third gear, right? On all the way up, right, to the fifth gear on December 25th, man, that event, that whatever event is gonna get started, happens on the 25th, I would honestly not be surprised, man. I would not honestly not be surprised if it happened on the 25th or it happened on the 1st, even though I'm not setting dates. I would honestly not be surprised. So, yeah, man. Because no, we don't know the day or the hour, right? But I wouldn't be surprised because also keep this in mind. You have 1 Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, this sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, they shall not escape, peace and safety. When man, it might actually happen on that day. It's highly likely. Although I don't know for sure. But yeah, man, what you do, I believe, yeah, the Rakakadash having bring all this out, man. We supposed to be watchmen. Yeah, peace and safety. What do people be doing, man? Rakakadash have us being watchmen out here, but what do these people out here be doing, man? These people out here, being out, especially on that day, man. Hey, bro, what are they gonna be doing, man? What are they gonna be doing on that day? Now you got the death ceiling raised 2023. So, what are people gonna be doing, man? What are people gonna be doing? Let's look at it. What are they gonna be doing? They're gonna be peace and safety. This sudden destruction cometh upon them. If shit don't hit the fan before, right? For when they shall say peace and safety, this sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. You think about it, bro. During this folly day, it's actually a very likely scenario, even though I'm just saying it's a very likely scenario. Because what are you instructed to do, man? Dude, come on. On the Saturnalia Eve, what are you instructed? Which that's actually a 7-day folly day, but the day before the last day of Saturnalia. What are you instructed to do? Like go to sleep. What are the kids instructed to do, for example? Go to sleep while the parents, they act like they put the presents out and they fucking dress up. They act like it's Santa or whatever. Which is an anagram, by the way, for Satan. But what do? They're supposed to do? They're supposed to be asleep. Supposed to leave out cookies. But that goes into Nimrod. Nimrod is a representation of Satan on earth, which is why he's worshipped by these elites. And he's known as the sun god or the winter god. He's known as that. And December 25th, the nativity of the sun is associated with the winter solstice, when the darkest day of the night and the darkest night of the year, and then after that, it it's less dark and less dark. So that's their symbolism here. That's these are the customs of the heathen. But what we're not supposed to take part in. What are they gonna be doing, man? Kids gonna be asleep, parents gonna probably set out the gifts, set out the gifts while they're asleep or whatever, and then under that tree, the Jeremiah 10 tree, right? What? Come on, man. Come on, man. I wouldn't doubt it, honestly. If Mashapadium was to hit, then, Mashapadium was major Mashapadium, false, the type that's going to kick in that Jacob's trouble would hit then, man. I wouldn't be surprised. They wake up to Jacob's trouble instead, man. They wake up to the beginning of that dark winter instead. Wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised. For when they shall see peace and safety, then come sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon one more child he shall not escape. You know, a also with New Year's, man. I'm just saying, wouldn't be surprised if cause what are you doing, man? Yeah, ease, man. People are like getting fucked up. People are like they barbecued earlier, man. Or some New Year's Eve they had the fireworks. Getting fucked up. Setting off fireworks too. I wouldn't be surprised. Which says really that's Janus's day, man. Really, that's why they said it there, man. Because Janus, when you look at who Janus is, that's what January is named after, man. Named after Janus. When you look at who Janus is, in ancient Roman religion and mythology, this is Rome all over again, showing you more proof. Janus was the god of gates and doors. Yup, and what do they celebrate? New Year, coming from one year to another. Gates and doors. See, it's pagan, man. See, the ancient Romans had a specific god, a specific idol. Idol's the image of it, right? It is the image that they promote. Image of this demon who held the key, so to speak, to the metaphorical doors of gateways between what was and what is to come. The liminal space of transitioning out of one period of time and into something new. Janus, man. Man, whoa, man, this shit is New Year's Day is totally pagan, man. Just like Christmas. It's fucking pagan. That is pagan. It's pagan, man. Celebrating New Year's on January 1st is pagan. And you're going to fuck off. They're not none of their ways where your Jason get about it. He already does. And he could have had it right on that night. It could happen right on that night, man. Right on that fucking night. Right when you think that it's going to be all good. Because let me get into it. Basically, okay, this left head represents prosperity, generally an optimist, and this right head, a pessimist. This right head is an optimist. Because of this, they often disagree a lot. One head also tends to lie while the other tells the truth most of the time. So that's fucking, yo, man, come on, man. One very friendly, one very gloomy. So you think about it. People are feeling some people are feeling fucked up about the next year. The other people are feeling like good about it. Why they make resolutions? This is what I'm gonna do this year. This is what I'm gonna do this year, man. I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna do all that. They tell you to feel optimistic about the next year. The last year sucked. This year is gonna be better. Yo, all rooted in paganism, bro. And so, it's on the Sabbath this year. So I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, wouldn't at all. I wouldn't be surprised if Esau, Edom, who's the sword of the Most High Yahweh, if he has something staged, either on December 25th, they have something staged, You know, you know, like I don't know, like either like the viral attack or hold on, or you wake up the next morning and ain't no power in certain areas, man, because the grid was hacked. Their stock market and all that was hacked and shit. So yeah, certain and they had to shut off the grid, something like that. Cyber attack, or you have some type of cyber attack while you're fucking well, when you're fucking thinking you're gonna wake up to something good, you know, or you wake up to that instead, man. Oh shit! And it's cold as fuck, it's cold as fuck, and you think it's caused by the cold, you know, when it's really. Really have that, man. Wake up and it's cold as fuck, man. Wake up, yeah, it's cold as fuck, and also ain't no motherfucking power and shit, bro. Because it got taken out. Or there's possible scenarios. Or Esau come with that bio attack he be talking about. And now you have kids. You gotta like quarantine. Fuck, bro. Nasty. You see what yeah, man, wouldn't be surprised. You wake up and or while you're celebrating, like it could go down, man. That event, man. That ushers in the deal, man. It could happen, man. The God of beginnings, transitions, time, duality, doorways, man. That shit, New Year's shit is totally pagan, man. And the real, you know what? The real, the real New Year's, the real New Year's is on the month of the Passover, which is in the spring. It's not in the winter. The winter, that makes sense, man. The spring, the God, like it. The spring is when everybody is when all that life come back, man. Winter's like the end. It's like the last month. Come on. And then the spring is when it all comes back. The spring is when life springs back forward, man. So spring would make more sense as being the beginning of the year, you know? Spring, man. But they got you celebrating it in the middle of winter because Janus, man. They got you worshiping Janus. And you don't even know it. But you're still worshiping him, Slakia. But you're still worshiping him though. And so and on the Shabbat too, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if some major shit goes down that day, man. Honestly, would not be surprised. Honestly, wouldn't shock me at all. All right, so hold on. It's January is named after the feast of January, man. Yep. Yep. You had the Saturnalia, midwinter, and you had a festival of Janus, which was celebrated when you January 1st, festival of Janus, the two-faced god of beginnings, exchanging of lamps to furnish light. Ah, exchanging of lamps to furnish light for the coming year. What do you do? What do you do on January 1st, man? What do you do on January 1st at midnight or just before? What the fuck do they do? Fireworks, motherfucker. They launch those fireworks. Oh, so that is what it is. Yo, fucking pagan, man. And so I wouldn't be surprised, man, if that actually is what would that's actually in the works. But we gonna see. But y'all are gonna get judged for celebrating these folly days. Another troll I have to block. You know, posting these fucking posting these links. They be posting those links in there on your comment boards. Akim, they're just fucking spamming you. Block that shit, man. Don't click on it. Block it. By the way, Oh, yeah. So that's just a modernized celebration of Janus, man. That's what it is. That's what it is right there. So yeah, man, you're going to fuck off. Saturnalia's the Saturn, which the Roman god of agriculture, right? Which you break that down, you know, man, fuck. Why do you cut the lawn and tend to the yard on Saturday? It's all pagan, man. Which, come on, man. Um, Eventually going back to fucking Nimrod, man. With all them male deities, if you really look at it, all these male deities, these male idols, man, they go back to Nimrod, and all these female idols, these goddesses, man, these demons that, you know, basically take the image of a female, go back to Semiramis. And the male ones go back to either Nimrod or Tammuz, man. So also, considering like the idols that these Edomites worship, right? These elite Edomites worship. Considering those idols, man. Also, something else I was thinking of, man. Maybe there's something else that I was thinking of as well. You know that one movie that came out, Chronicles of Narnia, right? People was thinking that it was a Christian movie, like so-called, like actually based on the Bible. Didn't go into it. I just had pagan basically Christianity is syncretism. Still doing motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking swear, man. That's too annoying. The motherfucking ass, I have a gnat problem in my crew and shit. I've been trying to like, I've been trying to fix it, but each time, man, like I get delayed, held up somehow. But you know, yeah, I have to deal with that trial, man. But one thing I want to bring up is something else, man. They show you this too, and it's also like symbolic as well, man. It show you these deities that these Edomites worship, and that Chronicles of Narnia show you, man. It show you that because it incorporate pagan symbolism in it, man. Like Faunus, right? That's actual deity that's worshipped by the Romans, man. Faunus. fauna in Florida is named after them, bro. It's basically a goat man, and they showed you that in that movie, man. But I thought it was a Christian, like as in biblically based movie, right? So you had that. Come on, let's look at it. Faunas. What happened? Didn't let me get it because it's been minutes since I've seen it, and it's basically pagan, man. It's actually pagan. And let me look at this one. Like the first one is what I'm thinking of, which they try to like put a Christian, quote unquote Christian twist to it or whatever. But if you really look at it, examine it, man. Examine that shit. Hold on. Because there's some symbolism in that, bro. Pagan symbolism, bro. Okay, so let me plot, okay? It had is in London area, right? And here enters a faunus by name Mr. Timnus, who invites her to his home and tells her that she is in Narnia. Timnus puts Lucy to sleep by playing a flute lullaby, and when Lucy wakes up, Sally explains that the White Witch encouraged Narnia to eternally experience winter and never it was to promote the 25th, right? Never Saturnalia. This shit pagan, bro. And any humans encounter are to be brought to her. However, Thomas instead sends her home, where Lucy finds hardly any time has passed, and her siblings dispute with the believers. Anytime when Lucy finds it, hardly any time has passed, and her siblings disbelieve her story due to the normal state of the wardrobe. One night, basically, I'll show you, man. Lucy successfully returns through the wardrobe, but Edmund follows her. Edmund meets the White Witch, claims to be Queen of Narnia. Edmund tells her about his siblings and Tumnus, and the witch offers him, okay, this way it goes down like some chocolate, Turkish delight shit. Turkish delight and kingship. He brings his siblings to her castle. Okay, basically, like they switch shit around, bro, because Tumnus is what? Like Tumnus is fucking actually Tumnus is a fawn, right? You look at it, right? It's a fawn, bro. And when you look at it, he's involved with, fauna, flora, spring, come back. Basically, like, fauna is like fucking, like plants and shit, bro. And it's plants and shit, yep. And fauna and flora, okay, fauna is like animals and plants, right? And so when you look at it, it's pagan, bro, because like he's involved in bringing like spring back or whatever, right? Yo, it's fucking pagan because he's involved in bringing spring back or whatever, right? And then check this, bro. In like December, bro, like they have wait a second. I'm check it, man. Festival of Faunas held in Countryside December. That's like the beginning of motherfucking winter. And then what do you have? You scroll up, like, bro, you can scroll up, and February is a festival to honor faunus, the rustic god. Man, faunus is a faun, you know, when you look into it. As a horn god, was the horn god of the forest, plains, and fields, and where he made cattle fertile. When he made cattle fertile, he was called Enus. He came to be equated in literature with Pan, man, the Greek god Pan. He was a faun, but when you look into it, oh shit! Faunus and Daphnis practicing the pan flute. Bruh, it's all there. Goes along with the plot. What did the plot say about this what the plot say? It's pagan. Come on, dude. And she tells her, yeah, Lucy Tumnus puts Lucy to sleep by playing a flute lullaby. Oh, okay. Interesting. And when Lucy wakes up, he sadly explains that the White Witch cursed Nana to eternal experience winter and never Christmas. Any humans are to be okay, so you get it, man. And you had that what, let me get it. Rewind. You had yo, man. They sneaky with it too, man. They're like they slip it right in. You had this festival of faunus in the countryside, man. You had this where was the setting? Where was the setting at? In the countryside of England. So you had a festival of faunus in the countryside, man. And what he do? What would faunus do? He in the Greek equivalent was Pan. What he do? Yeah, faunus and who's Daphnis? Who's Daphnis? Let me get that because that's interesting as well. So that's paganism, bro. Daphnis. Okay, let me see. He was the son of, so they were twins. He was the son of Hermes, and despite which like Daphnis itself was, okay. Man, these devils. They put that paganism in it, bro. You know, endeavor to Daphnis who, what the fuck? Hold the fuck up. Daphnis became a follower of the goddess Artemis, accompanying her in hunting and entertaining her with the singing of pastoral songs and playing of the panpipes. A naiad, possibly Incarnatus or Nornia, was in love with him and promised to be faithful to him. However, he was seduced with the aid of wine by the daughter of a king. In revenge, this nymph either blinded him or turned him to stone. Motherfucking devils. That's fucking interesting. Wasn't was this white witch a nymph? She was, man. Dude, this shit was fucking pagan, bro. 100% pagan, bro. Yo, that shit was pagan. 100%. But it's something I could point. I'm gonna point out about it. Oh, many nymphs were stone prisoners. Stone prisoners for the white witch. Oh shit! In your courtyard, along with many other statues. Okay, so you had those that were against, and those who were for. So you look at it, man. Esau puts that in his movies, man. Hey, this is what Esau does, man. Was in love with them and promised to be faithful to him. However, he was seduced with aid of wine by the daughter of a king. Revenge. This nymph either blinded him or turned him to stone. So, the fuck, dude? So, do you see that in there too? Daphnis, who endeavored to console himself by playing the flute and singing shepherd songs, soon afterwards died. He fell from a cliff or was changed into a rock, or was taken up into heaven by his father Hermes. Fucking Edomites. Who caused a spring of water to gush out from the spot where his son had been carried off. Ever afterwards, the Sicilians offered sacrifices at the spring as an expiatory offering for youth's early death. There's little doubt that alien. Oh, Saturnalia. That's the feast dedicated to the Roman the demons that the Romans worshipped, and you know he was the god of agriculture, man. Saturn. Well, you can't do that shit in the winter, bro. It was all there, man. Even afterwards, the Sicilians offered sacrifices at the spring as an expiatory offering for the youth's early death. There's little doubt, shaking my fucking head. There's little doubt the alien in his account follows Dietrodorus of Hermera, who in like manner had been blinded by the vengeance of a woman, Helen, and probably sang of the sufferings of Daphnis in his reincarnation. Nothing is said of Daphnis' blindness by Deocritus, who dwells on his Amaryllis, his victory over men called Menicol, Menocus, damn it. In a political competition, his love for seeing him, man, brought about the wrath of Aphrodite's wanderings throughout the wood while suffering torments of unrequited love. So, bruh, fucking, man, that shit pagan, bro. But basically, it's something that I want to point out about it. It kind of showed you the true meaning of Saturnalia if you really look at it. But hold on. Motherfuckers. And, they use that lion to make it look like, that was about the lion. But, let me get something else. As a roaring lion, man. Like, because there's also representation of the lion on the left-hand side. 1 Peter 5:8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion. Speaking of spiritual demons, Satan, and you know what? Also, his physical children on earth. As a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Okay, so let's look at it. Man. Yo, bro. So let's fucking look at it. He was like iced up and stone. See, Saturn is just like another version of Nimrod, right? So, which is Tammuz. Basically, they say that Tammuz was Nimrod come back. So, and he's Nimrod now since he's older. So, let's look at it. So Saturnalia is a celebration of Saturn and shit, right? And Nimrod, and also Christmas, that folly days based off of the nativity of the sun, right? Let's look at it. I peep something, I want y'all to peep it too. The city is straight up pagan too. Venerable day of the the midwinter solstice also. 25th, 17th, 23rd, Saturnalia. made Saturn, which was also Cronus. What Cronus also? It's also Cronus. Bruh. Sol Invictus on the 25th. Let's get it. The unconquered sun. And the reason why they celebrated on that day, yeah, or more fully, Deus Sol Invictus, unconquered sun god, was a religious title applied to at least three distinct deities during the later Roman Empire: El Gabal, Mithras, and Sol. The earlier cult of Sol, indigenous, the native sun or the invoked sun was agrarian. Uh, Birth, the Philocalian calendar of AD 354, part VI, gives a festival of Natalis Invicti, going into like some being born, right? Or reborn on 25th December. There is a limited natal, right? You get the reference. There is limited evidence that this festival was celebrated before the mid-4th century. So it was the sun god, man. Two distinct sun gods at Rome, man. Yo, bruh. The Romans worshiped the sun, man. And the sun was associated with Nimrod. Esau. Because these Edomite elites, man, why are they talking about dark winter and all that? You know why? It's very highly likely that they're gonna pull some shit this winter, man, to get that Jacob's trouble popping. It's highly likely. This is also why, because of the deities that they worship. Hold on. Why did the Romans, who were ruled by Esau, Edomites, you had Jake that was scattered in other nations that was Roman citizen, scattered among them. There was Jake that was scattered among them. There was also other nations that were Roman citizens as well. We're talking about these Roman Edomites. Why did the Romans call the sun, I'm gonna look it up, Sol Invictus? That meant the inconquerable sun, man. I believe, yeah. Sol Invictus, the god of the sun, was one of the most important gods, and he symbolized victory as he defeated darkness and rose every morning. Sol Invictus was the patron of Roman soldiers. Hey, bro, that's what it means, unconquered sun. That's why it was worshipped. That's why it was worshipped at that time period, and you also had the god of agriculture being worshipped before the days coming up, and the days coming up to what? To December 25th, to the day of Sol Invictus, man, which is also so it's connected with Saturnalia, Saturn being the god of agriculture back then, and it was also connected to the sun, because without the sun, it can't grow plants. So that's what the customs of the heathens were, man, concerning that. And they tell you that it was about the Lord Yahushua, man, calling them the wrong name, man. Even the name they call him, man. Esau. And let me get something else. Why Devils, man. Why was it celebrated on December 25th? You know, it's coinciding with, yes. Oh, yeah, yup. Yo, man. Yep, drove a racing chariot drawn by 4 horses. Yo! These fucking devils, man. And that's what that whole thing about. That's what that whole thing about. Oh, that's what that whole thing about Santa Claus is from, bruh. As well. Wasn't Santa Claus in the Nimrod in Narnia? Like, I'm gonna bring it out what it was called, Father Christmas in Narnia. Yeah, dude, that was pagan. But drove a racing chariot drawn by 4 horses. Now they give you 8 reindeer. Sol was associated with Luna, the goddess of the moon, also who drove a chariot drawn by 2 horses. Chariot races for both were presented in Roman circuses. The Circus Maximum in Rome included the Temple of Sol, dedicated to Sol Invictus, and the Temple of Luna. The Temple of Sol included a statue of a Sol, driving his quadriga on 4 horses. Roman circuses around the Roman Empire featured statues of Sol and Luna and their central barriers. So it's all pagan, man. And the central barrier spina of the Circus Maximus also featured an Egyptian obelisk, who represented a shaft of which represented a shaft of sunlight and was dedicated to Sol. That was Nimrod. Now, this song I got to highlight about this, man. Nimrod and Semiramis, man. Semiramis and Tammuz, man. Ugh. Yeah. Let me get this. Nimrod's birthday, bro. When was Nimrod's? And Semiramis was Nimrod's mother. So he married his mother. Nimrod's birthday and Christmas, that's December 25th, man. The birthday of Tammuz, who was Nimrod. Shit was pagan, bro. Yeah, Christmas trees is fucking going off, bro. The birthday of Nimrod. Yup. Nimrod is who you're really celebrating. 25th December, commonly known as Christmas Day around the world. Oh man, shit is totally wicked. Commonly known around the world as the birthday of who the world calls JC, man. Who the world calls that. and pictures to be a so-called white man. Sadly, this is not the case, and the Bible doesn't actually mention anywhere about, well, it's really Yahushua being born during December. But you probably heard this argument many times before, right? Besides whether he was born in the summer or fall, surely the Moses is right, and Most High isn't, Yahweh isn't fussed about specifics, right? Wrong. Besides the fact besides the fact that the origin of Christmas derived from a German pagan tradition and Roman, many Christians don't know whose birthday they're actually celebrating on 25th December, and just know how angry Most High Yahweh is. Well, he's angry at his people celebrating that, man. Jake says in these false churches, man, how angry the Most High Yahweh is when we partake in the celebration of this blasphemous day. Nimrod, that's the Lord of Christmas or Father of Christmas. It's really Nimrod, man. The 25th December marked the birthday of Nimrod, not Yahushua. Tammuz, often confused as, yeah, man, they was really celebrating Nimrod and Tammuz, bro. Nimrod and Tammuz. Tammuz was basically like, was Nimrod and Semiramis' son, but Semiramis was also the mother of Nimrod, man. You know, that heathen married his mother. Somebody out here, fool. I heard a noise, bro. But it was like, I don't know where it's coming from. Yo, Nimrod, man. So it's based off of the 25th December marked birthday of Nimrod, not Yahushua. Tammuz, often confused as baby Yahushua, was born of two pagan gods, Nimrod, a sun god, and the moon goddess of ancient Babylon, the queen of heaven, the sun and the moon. You know, and they try to say that Yahushua was born in that day, man. Esau, man. Which Constantine, you know, who was he was a wicked nigga. He authorized it. You know, it was called syncretism, man. Put together the Roman pagan, before Rome, Babylonian pagan celebrations, you know, and gave them tried to so-called Christianize them, man. Tried to like tie them to the Bible, man. That's what he did. You know, the Constantine, that wicked nigga. And the moon goddess of ancient Babylon, the queen of heaven. Mother and child worship were common pagan practices during this time. And so Tammuz and the queen of heaven are still worshipped today in many religions under many different names. For example, Roman Catholicism, the statue of the Virgin Mary is actually not Mary, but the queen of heaven. No, real talk, man. And so-called baby Yahushua in the manger, which they don't call him that. They call him JC. Not his true name. And the manger is actually Tammuz, man. Because that's not his birthday, December 25th. In short, the 25th December was a day that commemorated the worship of the sun, Satan, as opposed to the true living God of the Bible, man. This is how Nimrod got like basically tied to the sun, also Satan, you know, as opposed to the true living God of the Bible. This rebellion was demonstrated through a vast number of pagan customs, which are still carried out today during the festive Christmas period. Pagan customs. I'm gonna go into how it like goes into this dark winter thing too, man. Pagan customs, Christmas trees. After Nimrod's death, the Queen of Heaven decided that a fully grown evergreen tree that grew overnight would enable the survival of Nimrod's spirit. That's what it's about. Every year on Nimrod's birthday, she believed Nimrod would visit the tree and so worshipped it by placing gifts underneath it for his return. Why he placed gifts under the Christmas tree, man. And Jeremiah 10:3, Yahweh mentions his disdain for this ancient practice. Jeremiah 10:3, for the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of a craftsman with a cutting tool. What the axe? This is another version you could tell. What the axe, man? And then they make it so that it's stand up. Make Joe, man, Jeremiah 10, bro. I'm gonna get that, but I'm gonna get into the, you know, what I know, especially in that movie, man. Man, and what it has to do with this dark winter deal, man. I'm gonna get into it. Jeremiah 10:3, for the customs of the people. It goes into the signs of the heaven too. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. Verse 4, they deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. Verse 1, hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, house of Israel, man. Telling you not to celebrate this, man. Telling you not to learn not the way of the heathen, man. But that's why y'all gonna get judged, man, because y'all don't listen. Y'all hard-headed. Verse 5, they are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also it is in them to do good. This was an idol. Verse 6, for as much as there is none like unto thee, O Yahweh, thou art great, and thy name, thou art great, and thy name is great, and might. Verse 7, who would not fear thee, O king? It goes into that, man. Of nations, for thou doest it appertain, for as much as is among the wise men of the nations and in all their kingdoms, there's none like unto thee. Verse 8, but they are altogether brutish. It's something that's brutish and foolish. This stock is a doctrine of vanities. They are worshiping the sun, man. They are worshiping the sun, and it goes into, and Nimrod was tied to the sun, man. Worshiping Nimrod, worshiping the sun, ultimately worshiping Satan, man. Because who created the sun, but they're not going to worship the Most High Yahweh, because it's not given unto the heathens to know, man. The Most High Yahweh, he's the power of Israel, man. So we're instructed not to do these things, man. Yet our people continue to go into it. That's why y'all are going to get judged. Yule logs, similarity to the Christmas tree, the Yule log was burned in a fireplace the day before Nimrod's birthday in preparation for Nimrod's return. So the log was also symbolic for Nimrod. So with Nimrod being the founder of Babylon, it's no surprise that Satan used him to merge pagan customs with the beliefs of the church, the real church of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Constantine knew that if he could deceive Christians in the world, then idolatry will be a lifestyle. True Christians, Hamashiach. But he merged it, created the religion of Christianity, which is syncretism, man. So idolatry would be a lifestyle. You're worshiping idols, thinking you're worshiping the Most High, Yahweh. Thinking of a false image of so-called white men, which was added later on, during the Renaissance. Yahweh's first few commandments were against the worship of other gods. You shall not serve no other gods before me. Yet Satan has fooled, he's fooled our people, man. The Israelites into doing just that, man. Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas was a real man, right? He was a real man, but even that was based off of paganism, bro. Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas, real name Bishop Nicholas of Myra, in the Roman Empire was known as the bishop who was possessed with the spirit of Poseidon, which came from the god of the sea, also known as Neptune. As a result, he was able to manipulate nature and do many supernatural things. He would secretly disappear into the night on his white horse and leave gifts at people's homes. But he was linked with the child sacrifices that occurred where children would be beat and burned alive. This is where the custom comes from, where parents are encouraged to put their children on the lap of Santas during the Christmas period. Do you still want to celebrate Christmas now? Yeah, do you still want to celebrate that shit? You know, but you still want to celebrate that shit? Oh, but the kids love it. You know, but my woman wants me to celebrate it. You know, you still gonna make those excuses, or you gonna take a stand, man? Also, you gotta go. I gotta go into that while I'm going into this because it links up, has to do with it. You still want to celebrate Christmas now? This truth is a hard pill to swallow, yo. And many, you so-called Christians, man, you false Christians, you're avoiding the reality of the 25th of December because of the attachments formed since y'all was young. And we grew up. We grew up celebrating this folly day, man. We grew up celebrating these folly days, and we was taught that we was worshiping Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Yeah, man. I'm going to fuck off, man. Ephesians 5:11 have no fit fellowship with the fruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. No fellowship. Can you bring a clean thing out of unclean? Nah. But I'm gonna get into it, man. Can you bring a clean thing out of a unclean? Job 14:4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. It's clear, man. Scriptures is clear. Not one. That shit was rooted in wickedness. And so you're not going to be able, the whole day itself is dedicated to a pagan god. Therefore, even wishing people Merry Christmas, choosing to celebrate, it's idolatry, nigga. And man, the whole, everything about it, man. Idolatry, bro. Capital feast. There are feasts that are set up for us to celebrate, man. We need to celebrate those instead of these pagan folly days, man. You know, therefore, James 4:17, therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin, man. You know, because you know that it's fucking going off, and you can, but you don't abstain, you know. You still don't abstain from it, you know, to him that is sin as well. Man, this is what Esau have you people celebrating, man. But I'm gonna go into okay, check it. Okay, so here's how this ties to this dark winter as well. So in the storyline of Narnia, which actually showed you, if you could peep it, it showed you what Christmas was really about, right? And it ain't about the Lord. If you really peeped it, you could tell, man. You know, it was real. They're counting on you not to peep it. But if you could really peep it, you could tell. But basically, come on, curse into an eternal winter by the White Witch. Think about it. Think about it. Dark winter, right? Dark winter. That's coming, right? The White Witch, that nymph, man. That nymph. I believe she was a nymph in there, man. But that nymph who was also turning motherfuckers to stone, man. Come on. You know, Faunus and the flute, man. It's all there. Yeah, Faunus is identical with Provonius. Faunus was an italic god, you know. It was identical with Favonius, one of the Roman wind gods, man. And he was portrayed as like a goat man. And he was practicing the pan flute, man. A legendary king of the lands. Ah, man. Telling you, bro. It's all there. And so the winter, check it. Oh. But if you look at it, so Invictus, yes, that they're who they're portraying as well, man. With the reindeer, man. Why is he riding reindeer? Why is he riding reindeer, to your crib? Why does the myth go like that? Okay, so you get it, man. The left, the left's war on. They say the left has war on Christmas, whatever. The left trying to detain, trying to like, yeah, dude, it's all there. This is a mass ritual, man. Santa Claus is pagan, bro. The origin of that. Yup, may owe his earliest reference to Odin as well. As well. And Odin was celebrated during Yule, a pagan holiday that took place midwinter. Bruh. During this time, Odin was said to. Oh, linked up. During this time, Odin was said to lead the wild hunt, a ghostly procession through the sky. Paganism, bro. Oh yeah, the modern Santa Claus is a direct descendant of England's Father Christmas. Why it was called that in that movie Narnia. A modern incarnation of old pagan ideas about spirits that travel the sky in midwinter. Bro, yeah, all that's pagan. And it has to do, I'm gonna bring it out, man. When you gather around the Christmas tree and stuff goodies into a stocking, taking part and stuff goodies into a stocking, Slovakia, goodies into a stocking, you're taking part in traditions that stretch back thousands of years long before Christianity, entered the mix. Long before that. Pagan or non-Christian, really non-biblical, okay, because Christianity is syncretism. Traditions show up in this beloved winter folly day, not beloved by the Most High Yahweh, but beloved by, you two-thirds and heathens and Esau. A consequence of early church leaders melting Yahweh's nativity celebration, which there wasn't one. He didn't authorize one. But pre-existing midwinter festivals, the Passover, he's the Passover lamb. You want to celebrate that, his life and death, you celebrate the Passover, man. Since then, Christmas traditions have warped over time, arriving at their current state a little more than a century ago. Passover, come on, Yahweh Shai is a Passover lamb. So you want to celebrate Yahweh Shai, you celebrate the Passover. There you go, man. But let me continue. Since then, Christmas traditions have warped over time, arriving at the current state a little more than a century ago. Read on for early, or some of the, man, surprising origins of Christmas cheer and find out why Christmas was once banned in New England because it was pagan, man. Early Christmas had a soft spot for pagans. Yeah, man, like Constantine, Constantine is actually the one who created that religion, Christianity, man. He's actually behind it. And made it the state religion. This is what happened. It's a mistake to say that our modern Christmas traditions come, whatever, man, directly from pre-Christian paganism. No, it was syncretism. That's what it was. It never occurred to the church, the ecclesia, the elect, actual one, the actual elect, that they needed to celebrate his birthday. That was never authorized. Yeah, with no biblical directive to do so, no mention of the Gospels of the correct date. You could, it was the Passover lamb, so you could kind of say it was around that time period. It was around that time period, the Passover. And he died at age 33, man. Come on. He was crucified at age 33. The Pesach lamb, man. With no biblical directive to do so, no mention in the Gospels of the correct date. It wasn't. I'm reading this article from NBC News. It's about, this folly day, and it was published. Basically, it's titled. It was published December 23rd, 2012, and it says "Pagan Roots: 5 Surprising Facts About Christmas." Yeah, it's pagan. And yeah, hold on. You want to. It wasn't until the 4th century that church leaders in Rome embraced the holiday. At that time, Nissenbaum said many people would turn to the belief the church found heretical, that Yahushua never existed as a man, but as a sort of a spiritual entity. So it's sort of like going off as well. And they placed it on the sun. The sun. They had that falling away happen, and even more falling away. But hold on. Yeah, man. So basically, that represented that. Faunus represented was also Faun represented Faunus. Mr. Thomas represented Faunus. Played the flute. Dead Nymph was represented by, or was Nymph, I think. It's represented by yeah, that Nymph was represented by that queen, that white witch that made everything into that were made basically like, let me see. Basically, it goes back to Roman mythology. She was hold on. Salakia. Okay, yeah. Turn into stone. Oh, something else, man. It's all there, man. This symbolism. Turn into stone. No, the jab fucking your DNA up from being a human to be some else. Hold on. Who else turned you into stone? Medusa. Medusa. This you could link her up with Medusa, man. That was just Medusa. Petrification. Get something else. Yeah, EMP could take us back to the Stone Age. If the grid went down, the grid went down, it would be like the Stone Age. Okay, so let me get that. Yeah. 96 hours to the Stone Age. How quickly our connected lives crumble. I mean, the Texas power grid failed, man. The Texas power grid failed. That was like a trial run, man. Yup. Yup. 72 to 96 out, 48, 24. So 24, 48 hours into the information abyss. Next morning, many of us. Let's count the 96-hour clock. I got this article going into. It's from 2011, November 23rd, going into how like what would happen if the power was to go out like for that, like basically like for good and shit. So 24. So imagine power goes out one morning. No notice, it's just out. For the first few hours, we bitch that our wireless internet connection is slow, or that we get network busy tones for some of the calls we want to make. Through our phones, tablets, and other connected devices, we get news and updates from our local community. Slack you for that. Just fucking with me. Along the lines of hanging there, we're sorting it out. If we're not stuck at work or in a traffic jam, we make our way home. Slack you, my bad. We make our way home to our dark houses. 24 to 48 hours, enter the information abyss. The next morning, many of us will not have self-service. Operators will get portable generators to key sites, but not all sites. After 48 hours, more of us are disconnected. So how do we find out what's happening? Our TVs and cable modems don't work. No power. Battery-powered radio. If you're one of the rare people who owns one, you still have a problem. Radio stations are increasingly high-tech. And guess what? Most stations were off the air during the September San Diego blackout. Back then, right? 48 to 72 hours, your wallet is empty and so is your fridge. How will you handle even simple purchases without power, communications, or cash? As we increasingly transact via credit cards, online, and even cell phones, cash has become less prevalent. If they even less now, man. If the ATMs are down and you don't have enough emergency cash on hand, what do you do? Already, it seems that for a broad range of demographics, especially under 25, cash is already dead. Yup. Or if there are emergency radio broadcasts and the broadcasts say that emergency help is located in a certain park in a certain city, what good is that information to a GPS reliant person who never learned to read a map and don't own any maps? 72 to 96 hours. No gas, no water. Now what? They're gonna have these FEMA camps set up too, man. One of that too. We'll just take you there. You just have to get, something stuck in your hand, Not 72 to 96 hours, no gas, no water. Now what? You go there, they shut the gate. Oh, you want anything? Gotta get it, man. No gas, no water, no. Now what? Cars that run out of gas. That's what they want too. Push that. Cars that run out of fuck, dude. Cars that have run out of gas. The roads are so clogged, they're non-functional. Public safety will be dealing with all these issues with the degraded communications infrastructure. And all are the pumps from your local water facility still running? Remember, all the sewage and water plants are increasingly automated. I don't know about that, about you, but I'll be cranky about that point. By that point, motherfuckers will be watered out, man. Acts of humans will be worse than the proverbial. It's not. Like, I'm reading the article verbatim. Acts of God. Talking about the Most High, It's acts, right? Yeah, because motherfuckers are gonna lose their shit, man. How it happened, motherfuckers. You can see, man, what you're talking about. Motherfuckers are gonna lose their shit, man. Motherfuckers are gonna lose their shit out here, man. It's winter, it's the cold. It's winter, it's the cold. Oh shit. Oh shit. Probably got it. Oh shit. You had dark winter, man. Dark winter scenario, man. And then the winter too, man. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah, they've been programming the people for this too, man. They've been programming the people for you know shit, grid failure, bro. They've been programming the people for that too. They've been programming. Yo, man. You know what Esau did before you make a move, right? And so, really, the white witch would be symbolic of Medusa and shit. Also, when you look into it, will be symbolic of Medusa. And yeah, man, it's symbolic of Medusa. Hold on. What the fuck? Basically, like that's actually Nimrod. Right, that line. Actually representing Nimrod and representing which besides this first being Satan. Yeah, this frozen stuff. Come on, man. The dark winter, the power outages. All this shit is going on. That's gonna take us back to the Stone Age. Come on, man. Predictive programming of Esau. Predictive programming, man. Come on, you see it, man. the acts of hold on. I can get it. Oh, Tumnus was the first that was rescued and unpetrified by Aslan, which after his resurrection, he liberated the witch's castle. And yeah, you see it? He liberated the witch's castle and what on? And Tumnus is a fawn, bro. You see all that setup, man. You see that setup, man. And he played the flute like Faunus. Yeah, Lucy and Tumnus had tea afterward. He played her tune on his Narnian flute, of which he was quite an accomplished player, of course, and she nodded off. However, he could not go through with this immoral plan. When he talked with Lucy, made him realize what a heinous act it was to betray her. Bursting into tears, he apologized to Lucy and told her about the witch and risked his life to help her escape back to the wardrobe church. Fuck. Lucy visited. I'm gonna get to it. Tumnus skin on her second visit to Narnia inadvertently brought her brother Edmund with her. Yeah, unfortunately, Edmund ended up meeting White Witch and willingly told her everything about Tumnus helping Lucy escape. After she dealt with Edmund, she sent her police to arrest Tumnus. He was taken to the witch's castle for his supposed trial. Okay, so basically, you go through it and like he was like turned to stone and shit. Before pregnancy and children arrived in Narnia together, they also visited Tumnus' home and found it trashed, but also that a foreboding note had been written. Basically, like he was like arrested for treason or whatever. But let me get down to it, man. Yeah. Oh, hold on, bro. Let me get to it. And he had Sir Sligo. So basically, let me get to where it was at, to where basically yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, basically like he had been turned to stone or whatever, and then he was the first one to be like basically like free unpetrified or whatever. When after his resurrection he liberated the witch's castle and petrified all Narnians in it, who had returned to stone by breathing on them. Tumnus may have fought in the first battle Bruno. Okay, never mind. Basically you get the point. And that represents he represents the idol, man. He represents that that deity, that pagan deity, Faunus, man. You get the point. And then Aslan would represent Saturn then. And cold winter, man. The dark winter, blame on what? You know, those who didn't take the juice. Those who didn't take the juice. You know, they're holding us back. They won't move forward. You know, and also could happen that you know that's that you know that power outages, man. It's gonna be like you living in the Stone Age. That dark winter, man. You get the picture, man. And then Hold on. With that symbolism, man. Because these devils consult these left-handed deities, man. They consult these demons. And so there's something else, right? Something else too. Let me get it. No, frozen, stone cold. Man, it's stones is associated with stones is associated with what do you call it? Is associated with like winter, like no life, it's just stone and cold and hot. That's what it's associated with. So come on, man. It's all there. And then that's the similar character to Medusa, man. Who was because these devils is really bringing it about, man. Medusa looked like a hydra, man. And I already brought out how like they got hydras. They're putting hydras in the, the yibba jabba, man. They putting hydra. They putting hydra in the juice, man. The venom, if you will. So it's all there, man. Zombies. Come on. Pale horse. Esau is basically he's creating the chaos, and Esau is going to come in as the savior. That's what his plan is, man. Oro ab Ko. But Yahushua, man, he's gonna upset this devil's plans. Revelation 6:8. Let me bring this out. And I looked and behold a pale horse. Is a pale horse in the name. His name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword and with hunger and with death with beasts of the earth. So death and hell, right? Death in the grave, right? Death in the grave. You look at it. The name that sat on him was Death. Esau, and Esau bringing that hell, man. Pale, when you look at it, is chloros. Palish green, man. Like sickly, basically. Showing that that pestilence is coming as well, man. That they're gonna bring that pestilence as well. Hey, that zombie apocalypse. The zombie apocalypse. They didn't put that in your face as well. Zombies as well. Zombie apocalypse as well. Zombie apocalypse. Yep, such as headache, flu-like symptoms such as first signs of zombie apocalypse. Flu symptoms such as headache, fever, fatigue, nausea, painful spasms, and contractions of the throat when exposed to water. Erratic or bizarre behavior such as biting, thrashing about, spasms, and delusions. Developments of intense phobias to water. Yeah, man. And the CDC is talking about was talking about it, man. I believe it was the CDC. Yeah, the video, the U.S. Army preparing for one. I actually have it, man. Preparedness, zombie 101, zombie apocalypse. Quote unquote is a blog post by the United States Centers for Disease Control Prevention. It uses the zombie apocalypse to raise public awareness of its emergency preparedness. Okay, whatever. But they have one from 2011. They have one. They've been talking about zombie apocalypse, man. They've been talking about it. And so you have that too, man. So the dark winter. Oh, it's dark. It's cold. It's it's zombies. You know, zombies out there. You know, all that, man. Which they're gonna somehow twist the blame on those that won't get the fruit juice, man. The Fruit Loop juice. They're gonna be blamed on. It's gonna be blamed on those that won't get the Fruit Loop juice, and that they're the ones that's caused this. They're holding us back. You know, all that. You know, but this is our solution. The chip. My solution, that grain of rice to have it all, is mandated. It's gotta be mandated. You know, if you want to, basically everything being automated, the metaverse and all that, the grain of rice in your hand and in your head, everything automated, you know, metaverse, you know, that's their new world order, man. Metaverse, everything automated, you know, basically Esau controlling everything, and you're in total dependence to them. You know, they're what they push, man. They're gonna have the people beg for it. They're gonna have the people beg for it, man. Let me get this winter revolution. Winter Revolution was the Winter War was the earliest military conflict in the Kingdom of Narnia, believing the very first war in Narnia history prepared the country for many future important events, including, of course, the rise of appearances in the Gold Age in Narnia. Prior to the revolution, the White Witch Jadis had taken power in Narnia year 900 and basically condemned the Kingdom of Narnia to eternal winter, which would keep silver apple trees from growing as they were kept, which I kept out of Narnia for 900 years. Okay, whatever. Oh, man, Esau. During the 100-year war, year winter that ensued, the 100-year winter that ensued from Narnia years 900 to 1000, Jadis established a secret police force, deepening her oppression of the Narnia citizens. Aslan, however, returned to Narnia in the year 10,000, which precipitated the Great Thaw immediately after the arrival of the four Pamsi children from Earth. Signs of spring. Yo! It's all there, man, because what is the Earth? What is hold on. What is let's think about it. right, so let me think. So, you know these devils, man, they also, they worship the earth as well, man. These Edomites. At the same time, Gaia. Come on. And then signs of spring appeared and the non-Narnian tundra began to melt. With Asians' magical melting aura and the Pevensies' human empathy and leadership qualities, the Narnians were rallied into a rebellion against Queen Jadis. Man, these motherfucking devils. Oh, shit. Slipped up. Yeah, bro. So basically, yo, bro, that long dark winter. They're talking about long dark winter. You know, said famines, power outages, different areas because of probably they gonna blame it on a cyber attack, man. Um, zombie apocalypse, man. Other different pestilences, zombie apocalypse. The animals attacking because then they destroyed the fucking environment. Also, with the system collapsing, like these zoo animals and these pets, man, gonna be able to survive, man. Either they gonna get eaten or they gonna be eating you 2/3 out here, and you heathens and you Edomites. So that, in the FEMA camps, the only place basically the only place, the place of refuge or whatever, basically. But where they gonna force the chip? Are they gonna force that grain of rice? You know, that's basically the solution. They're gonna push it. Well, the solution to the dark winter is this, civil war between basically the pro mandate and the anti mandate states. The UN intervening. Could see that happening this winter. Like, it's very likely. It's very likely. That's what I'm going to say. It's very likely. You know, then so the UN instituting, so-called instituting peace or whatever, the peacekeepers, Garga troops, then the MOTB, then the MOTB. So basically, that's what they finna. That's what's coming, man. What happened this winter was probably or not, but like that's what's gonna happen, man. That's prophecy, and it looks like, it looks very likely that that's what's gonna go down, man. It looks like it's gonna be like as soon as this winter. It looked like it. All the signs is pointing to it's probably gonna be most likely gonna be this winter. And their solution, what? Their solution, let me get this right here. Before I get that, Esau's solution, which is gonna be basically it's gonna be the MOTB. The scriptures outlawed. The scriptures outlawed, and private ownership of guns outlawed. See what all this is gonna lead to. But let me get these verses first. Verse 10, behold, where do I start at? Hold on. Verse 10, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Verse 11, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite earth Egypt with plagues like Egypt, with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that power Yahweh shall bring upon it. One of the plagues was that as well, man. Darkness as well. I'm not saying it's going to be no 3 days of darkness or whatever. I'm not saying that. Like certain areas of Babylon, it's probably going to be hit with that, basically. Since this is Egypt all over again, and there's not no specific 3 days, No. So just want to clear that up. It would probably be longer than that. Those areas. And punishment that power Yahweh shall bring upon it. Okay, that's part of verse 12. He's going to smite this place, which is Egypt, all over you with plagues as before, and destroy all the land thereof. Verse 13, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail, through the blasting and hail, and with the fearful consolation. Hey, man, what did just happen to 20, man? You had that hailstorm in Iowa. You have different examples. Blasting and hail, man. But blasting, as well. The California wildfires, the hurricanes that hit Louisiana, the big Texas freeze, all these events, man. Even the snowstorm over there in Hawaii probably affected something. Verse 13, they that till the ground shall mourn, for the seed shall fail through the blasting hail, and with the fearful consolation. Verse 14, woe to the world, and them that dwell therein. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Also, that's gonna happen as well, man. That civil war, man. That civil war and race war is coming. And class war, all that, man. And the course of their actions they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Verse 14, for because their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Yo, behold to the power, say power Yahweh, I'll call together all, okay, come. That's going to happen after, man. After that Armageddon, man. Armageddon is going to be the end of that. That's that World War III. After Esau imposes the mark of the beast. Oh, the Great Reset. The Great Reset, right? The Green New Deal. The Green New Deal. Esau acting in the form of the White Witch from Narnia, man, Medusa, and implementing basically like chaos, man, all the times, like the time of Jacob's trouble, and then so-called providing a way out. Here's the way out of all that. Here's the way out of all that. Just take this grain of rice. It's your way out of all that. All you have to do is take Esau, man. Just take that grain of rice. How Esau is, gonna push it out, man. And the people are gonna be more than willing, man. The 2/3 are gonna be more than willing to take the grain of rice, because it's our way out of this. Oh, you mean not only that? Basically, in both in the head and the hand, man. Not only am I going to be immune to, they're probably going to say some kind of like a mutation of the crown royal or whatever that's causing that. So that's going to be, juice is going to be, which is going to be contained in that, it's like a capsule, but also, it's going to be that new digital form of ID, certification of, starts with a V, ends with the nation, identification. It's an acronym, what they're calling it. It's an acronym. And so you see it, man. And also, the headpiece for any side effect. Come on, man. Esau's gonna push that. And plus the metaverse comes with it, and your brain is connected with the metaverse. Basically, like your brain is connected to the internet. Their solution. That's really the Green New Deal, man. That's the Great Reset. That's the Agenda 21. Now Esau controls everything, and you just being in your crib is probably gonna find some way that you're gonna power the system. And like I've been saying, with that like I've been saying with that I've been saying, how that that British short movie that aired back in early 2010s, early to mid 2010s, showed them powering it, by being on a treadmill and shit. So doing that while it would use their kinetic energy that they produce to power the system, and they would be given land-made food, so Soylent Green, in other words, be given Soylent Green, Esau's the damn devil, man. You know, and you order soda and green while you're doing that. You know, after he's killed off the majority of the population during the Dark Winter. We're in the FEMA camps, whoever didn't like who didn't want to receive that grain of rice. You know, that's also coming to, let me get that, because this is how Esau was doing it. It's a whole process. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happened this winter because of when you look into these deities that these devils worship, man, it makes sense that they would. Revelation chapter 13. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads. So he calls it all. You know, one of the meanings of the word there for cause it, the Greek word there, is to prepare. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Why? Because the money is not going to be physical. It's not going to be analog. It's going to be digital. It's going to be a digital form of a digital dollar, man. The new currency, a digital money, a digital dollar, the new world currency, man. A digital dollar. You know, now they're going to get bipartisan support of what they're saying because China moving towards a digital yuan, but it's all Hegelian dialect, man. Oh, we got to respond by developing a digital dollar. Oh, it's a digital money. CBDC space race. So they did this. Oh, so look, we got to do that. You know, we can't let China get an edge over us. So we gotta come up with that digital dollar, man. Yup. And so that's what they're gonna push out. You know, that digital dollar. You know, the digital dollar. You know, and it's digital, man. It's digital. You know, they say it's worth that much because they say it's worth that much. It's digital and it's digital. So it's like fiat currency. So fiat currency is just digital. And it's digital, so you have no cash, you know, no card, like you need no card either because it's gonna be said to spread the virus, man. That's gonna be said to be too you know, basically do too dirty. It's too dirty, man. Carry a cell phone around like that, too dirty. Nah, it's that money is gonna be, your money is gonna be inside you, in that chip, in that grain of rice, man. In that grain of rice in your hand and in your forehead, you know, where you're gonna order shit using that grain of rice. You know, a programmable form of money that is programmed so that you can't spend it on certain shit, man. That's what total control, man. Where you can't spend it on certain shit and you can be penalized using a social credit score because it's gonna be like equivalent to, or it's gonna like equal so many dollars that you lose, or like you won't be able to spend the money because you'll be blocked if you violate the social credit score. So this is what it is, man. This is what it is. If your social credit score goes down, you know, certain shit you can't do, or your digital dollars, and there's no way to get around it. So it's certain shit that you can't do. And then you probably got certain crimes, dot crimes that you commit that, oh, wait, too much. You know, your shit's canceled, man. Either your account is wiped or it's who knows what type of system they'll have, you know, first, you know, get suspended so you can't spend your monies for like a certain amount. And then, oh, wiped, you know, your your shit is like completely deactivated. You know, they're still tracking you, but you're not able to use your digital dollars. So you're not able to buy anything, man. This is what these devils have up their sleeve, man. This is why they want to implement that shit, man. So yeah, not able to buy and sell because the money is digital and it is under their control, man. Makes sense, right? Say that he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, the number of his name, man. Which is what, cha 666 in the Greek, chasastigma, man. Chasastigma. Mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. George Joseph Loward, 6 letters in each. In his first name, his middle name, and his last name. 666. You know, that the inventor of who? The inventor of what? The barcode. Look into it. It has a 666 in it, man. And RFID chip is just like an advanced form of that. But it also can do other things, man. You know, 6. Let me get it. 6 and 6. In the middle. One in the, and you see them. The 6 right here. And you see the 6 right here. Basically, like in the back, in the front, in the middle, and in the that at the end. 6 right there, and then 6. But the RFID chip is like the advanced form of it. That's what it is. Yeah, each band of black lines associated with barcodes are made up of both white and black lines, both white and black lines. Each band of black and white lines and white spaces corresponds to a number between 0 and 9. The 3 bands now associated with the number on the far left, far right, and far middle resemble the band that represents the number 6. Yep. The number of the beast, 666, is referred to. So that's the number of the beast is referred to in English translations of the New Testament book of Revelation. It's probably most associated with the 1976 film The Omen, which the main. Okay, basically, that's the number of the beast, man. 603 score and 6. And George Joseph Loward, 6 letters in his first, middle, and last. 3 letters. And so that's the number. The mark, it's going to be put in your right hand on your forehead. Or it could be your left hand too. In their hand or their forehead. Those Slakia, let me get the scripture that refers to that. Revelation, Slakia for that. Revelation 14. You know, verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of power Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the lambs. Speaking of the nuclear fire that's coming, you know, these nuclear missiles, all these nuclear missiles, 200 million warheads that's going to hit this bitch. Verse 30, Salakia. Verse 11, Salakia, misspoke. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and there no rest day nor night, worship the beast and his image, and whosoever received the mark of his name. For aeons and aeons, when you look in the Greek. Verse 11. Aeons and aeons, very long time. But yeah, that's the point. You know, so you could receive it on your left hand and still, it's the MOTB. And that's the most likely places you would receive it anyways, man. You're not going to receive it in your ass cheeks, even though still, it's the mark of the beast. But you're not going to receive it in your ass cheeks. Like, you don't pay with your ass cheeks. You pay either with your hands and, you know, I could see you paying with your forehead too, man. But I see you paying with the hands, and the brain is connected to the internet through that neural link, so it can make the payment like just like that, man. I could see it. And then pushing it, because why? Because why are they pushing? Hold on. Why would they push that as well? Oh, we need to stay at home because people need to stay at home because they go out, like they could spread some virus or some shit. So to prevent that in the future, you know, it's what you gotta do. And I'll probably relocate you and shit. Oh, this is where you're gonna stay. You're gonna stay, and it'll be like, this is how Esau have it planned. It'll be like that one shit short. It was a short movie or some shit like that. That was British, UK short movie, and I believe the brother GMS feared the most. Well, the elder Rakah GMS feared the Most High. You know, his channel was GMS feared the Most High 7. Back then, I believe he did a video on it, and yeah, it was basically they would power the beast system using being on treadmills and they would use that kinetic energy, man, a form of green energy. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they have in the works, you know, and they're trying to implement that. You know, giving a new meaning to human batteries, man, being that matrix, being human batteries. No, the humans just create the energy for the system that they live under using kinetic energy, and they're hooked up using via the chip, and they're fed Soylent Green by that same system, which is printed out. It was made in the lab, when it's printed out, it's given to them. I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, 3 hours, 21 minutes, 44. When I looked up, like it was that 44 seconds, 3 hours, 21 minutes, 44 seconds. I saw that like real quick though. Passed real quick. Kala Yalba Shimi Shai by Shimi Kakadash. All praises. Yeah. Those are also confirmations, man. Like people think you're bugged out, for bringing that up, but no, man. Think you're bugged out for thinking that mean anything, but nah. This vibrations is real, man. But signs was called. But it's like the Most High Yahweh always showed signs. He always showed signs for his elect, man. But yeah, when the smoker told me this in it forever and ever. But yeah, man. Now you choose that, and you niggas, those of y'all, you niggas that pick the chip, man, that choose to take the MOTB, right? That fold in that hour of temptation. Y'all are gonna be, y'all gonna think that y'all in good case, right? That y'all made it out, right? Y'all made it out of Jacob's trouble. Y'all did the right thing. And that those of us who ain't, man, we're holding everybody back. We're a bunch of traitors and shit. And we're also like holding everybody back, basically. Like we're gonna be looked at as enemies of the state, like that, because we're gonna be looked at as enemies of the state. But guess what? Guess what? Y'all fucked up, man. Y'all betrayed y'all by Shimmy y'all shy, and y'all gonna die, man. Y'all gonna die grievous, grievous deaths, man. For that, man. Grievous deaths. Y'all gonna my charger. Y'all gonna die grievous deaths. Because of that, man. Death by pain for sure, man. Nukes, dying in a nuclear fire. Death by nuclear fire, man. A slow, painful death, man. So yeah, go ahead. Your 2/3 is gonna be deceived. Those of y'all that's still alive, man. At that time, you're gonna fall for it. Take that charagma, get put to death. And thinking that you escaped, the wrath, man. Fuck. Oh, these fucking devils, man. They have these now it's an error, man. Showing you that this devil now I'm showing you that this devil was behind it, man. So I try to block that spam that spam the spammer, right? And then my shit crashed and the comment came back, man. Hey, we call out y'all about shimmy out sorry about shimmy kakadash, I'm still alive. But yeah, hold on. Fuck, man. Ah, shit. Hold on. Yeah, records fall and borders close as world races to gain control of Omicron. What? New York will restrict gas for cooking and heating, paving the way for more cities to follow. Esau, man. Huh. Ray Dalio warns Fed's hands are tied and higher U.S. inflation is sticking around. Democracy, maybe not. Martial law. Yep. Martial law, man. Yeah, Pelosi defends stock trading while lawmakers and their spouses. We are a free market economy. Okay, so. Okay, she saw. Of course, they're gonna vote based on it too, man. But yeah, man. This Edomite Ray Dalio, he's saying that U.S. inflation is sticking around, democracy maybe not. Basically, like that facade of democracy, like it's gonna be thrown out the window, and there's gonna be basically a choice, right? And there's gonna be no more. Yeah, the Big Apple made a big move this week to phase out gas stoves and range tops. So many of the city's renowned chefs and the home cooks say they rely on to control the temperature of their dishes. The move may be part of a nationwide swap that more people have to swallow. Oh, sweeping reforms. The New York City Council passed a bill which, let me see the original version of this article. Ah, shit. So basically, they're restricting that. The ban will apply to new structures in the 7 stories tall starting in 2024 and to larger buildings 2027. Yo, Esau is, that's that Esau is phasing them out. And just like, these devils is trying to ban, let me, hold on, these devils is trying to ban cars. Let me get it. Owning a car is outdated. They're pushing for it. It's how they do it. Owning a car is outdated. 20th century thinking we must move to shared mobility to cut carbon emissions. So it's how they're justifying it. Transport minister said owning a car is outdated 20th century thinking. Junior Transport Minister says. Trudy Harrison, 45, says the UK should move to shared mobility to cut emissions. Almost 80% of UK households own at least one car. Latest figures show owning a car could become a fad of the past. A government minister claimed this week. Junior Transport Minister Trudy Harrison, 45, told a sustainable conference owning a car was outdated 20th century thinking that the country should move to shared mobility to cut carbon emissions. Yo, that's what they're pushing. Almost 80% of households in the UK own a car, according to figures by Statistica for 2020. That accounts for 63.5 million households owning at least one car out of a total of 8.7 billion. 8.7 billion. It's like 8.7 million. Almost 80% of households in the UK own a car, according to figures by Statistica for 2020. Ms. Harrison, who is also a former parliamentary private secretary to Boris Johnson, says the UK was reaching a tipping point where shared mobility in the form of car clubs, scooters, and bike shares will soon be a realistic option for many of us to get around. She told a virtual audience at Shared Transport Charity COMO UK. The fuck is that? COMO UK supports collaborative mobility solutions for shared rides of transport, including car clubs, bike share, 2+ ride share, microtransit. So they're pushing. What the country needed was a move away from quote unquote 20th century thinking centered around private ownership of shit, man. Private vehicle ownership and towards greater flexibility with personal choice and low carbon shared transport. Changing the way people consider car ownership and dependency will take time, quote unquote, Miss Harrison said, man. Yup. Gradualism there as well. But these devils is getting tired of that. But these fucking Edomites. Yeah, she added, many people seem far-fetched, and so they aren't. And I believe the same is true for shared mobility. Cars are responsible for approximately 13% of Britain's greenhouse gas emissions. So that's what they're doing. They're blaming it on that. The Conservatives said they would reduce emissions to net zero by 2050 and have committed £5 billion to greener transport such as walking and cycling. One way of achieving this is by the banning of new petrol and diesel cars from 2020. Sustainable development agenda, man. But they're gonna bring that sooner, man. E-scooters are also expected to be made legal on UK roads to promote a greener way of getting about. Yep, and they're blaming it on the people, man. Oh, the people gotta make sacrifices. They gotta cut back. You know, we don't gotta cut back. You know, the elites, they don't gotta cut back. Oh, we got to. We gotta cut back, man, because it's our fault. You know, we gotta pay for them fucking up the earth. You know, we gotta pay for them fucking up the earth while they continue to fuck it up. We gotta pay for it. You know, that's Esau's message. You know, to the rest of us who he calls useless eaters. Man, we gotta pay for it. It don't matter that he was behind it. We gotta pay for it. You know, that's the message that Esau is pushing out. A carbon tax, make it hard to get around. This is how Esau's gonna do it, man. You might as well just stay home. You know, not even that. You know, they're talking about that right now. Get on instead of owning your own car, use transit or some type of ride share service. So they're gonna be pushing harder, you know, to the metaverse. Or just order it off the metaverse. The the company will send a drone to where you're at, or some will send a drone to where you're at, you know, from the machines that was making all the that lab made shit, man. Or you'll just get it on your 3D printer, so that they'll just send it the data to your 3D printer. You know, the data to like create the shit because they already have it, and it'll just be sent to your 3D printer, which they produce. You know, they'll produce the shit to make the different types of soldering green, and it'll just be sent to your 3D printer. Yeah. You know, get Soylent Green brought to you like that. Yeah, there's your food. So Esau, this type of this is what Esau wants, man. So Esau wants, you know, the people eating slop thinking that it's green and progressive, and not being able to own shit thinking that it's green and progressive. But Esau owns you and owns everything around you. You are privately owned by these devils. Just a huge trick by these devils. And that's why Esau is purposely collapsing the economy, man. That's why he's doing it. That's why he's fucking up the supply chain. That's why he's bringing about this dark winter. That's why he's doing it. Because he wants to force the people to submit to his way of doing things. And all nations, what? And all nations, what? Then the king decreed that, man, it's all there, man. You know, for the king had sent messengers to a moreover, verse 41, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. Verse 42, and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Verse 43, yet many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. Verse 44, for the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. And that is what Esau wants to do all over, not just the area where he was able to do it, not just the area, you know, where he was able to do it, like northeast Africa and Southwest Asia, that area where he was able to implement a thing, or you know, the southern and western Europe and North Africa, Northwest, North Central, Northeast Africa, and Southwest Asia, which is what area the Roman Empire covered. but the whole world, man, the whole world, pushing this idea of a new Pax Americana, man. This whole world being dominated. This whole world being chipped up, man. The ones that's left over of the world, man. Staying in, yeah, you know, the whole world, the plantation, man. The whole world, the plantation, and the new slaves, man. The new cyborg slaves, man, who are slaves spiritually, not just physically, to Esau. Because this devil wants to be as the Most High. I let me get that, man. This is Esau. This is Esau's wish. This is Esau's wish. You know, verse verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Means illuminated ones. What does Illuminati mean? Same thing. Illuminate. Well, light bearer, illuminated, to bear light. So illuminated ones, the light bearers. So that's what the elites of Esau call themselves, man. So they're being mockingly referred to as Lucifer here. How I thought, and also because they think they have such high IQ, they're so illuminated. They're so superior, man. Everybody should just bow down and listen to them. That's how the so-called white man thinks, man. Isaiah 14:12, who is Esau? How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Verse 13, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne over the stars of power. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. The so-called white man has a God complex, man. He's that proud. He thinks of himself as the Most High. Verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. This is what he has in his mind. This is what he thinks that he is going to accomplish. And he realizes that he has a short time left in his rulership. So he is rushing this through. This is why things are looking the way they're looking. This is why he's moving the way he's moving. This is why, like, to me, is pretty likely, highly likely that this devil is going to make that move this winter into next spring. Even though, like, I'm not setting a date, like, and it just gonna happen this winter, like, 100% sure, like, all the way. I'm not, okay? I'm not, okay? But I'm pretty sure. It's highly likely. And this is why, man. Because this devil wants to accomplish all this, man. Because he knows that his time is short. He knows that he's through. He knows. Esau knows that he's through. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. So he's trying to get all this done because he knows that he have a short time. He know that once Yahushua get back and his chains are put on this devil, man, and he's thrown back into the pit where he belonged, right? Right? He's through. He know that he ain't gonna have this type of power again. Verse 15, we're not gonna be able to deceive the nations anymore, and that's gonna be it, man. This short season is over. Verse 15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Verse 16, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Is this the man? Showing you that he's a man, okay? The one who is referred to as Lucifer, he is a man. Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that open not the house of his prisoners. Is this the man? That's how they're going to be looking at this devil, man. Is this the man? Is this the man? Because he's going to be brought down to his true estate, man. His lowly cave estate, man, as a cave beast. His true estate as the basis of men, as the lowest of the heathen, the smallest of the heathen. He's going to be brought back down to that estate, man. And chains are going to be put on him. He's going to be a slave, man. He's going to be a slave, the bottom, like a slave of slaves, man. The bottom, man. Esau is going to serve out his sentence for 1,000 years. Death row, hard labor. Chain gang to the chain gang. And then done away with. Verse 18, all the kings of the nations, even all of them lie in glory, everyone in his own house. Verse 19, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Verse 20, so he knows this. Verse 21, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith Yahweh. Verse 23, I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the basin of destruction, saith Yahweh of hosts. Verse 24, Yahweh of hosts has sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have proposed, so shall it stand. So he knows, Esau knows this, man. He knows. Verse 22, that I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him under foot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. The Israelites, man, because these devils, the 1948ers that's in our land, they also be ruling over us, man. They rule over these governments, man. They all break the Assyrian, and they're also, they're compared to Assyrians as well, man. The way they rule our people, both. They're ruling over the northern kingdom, okay, they're the Assyrians, man. Then, what the Assyrians did too? They placed heathens in the land, and they claimed, to be basically claimed that land was theirs, man. Called themselves Samaritans, man. Samaritans, an inhabitant of Samaria. So just like the old Assyrian Empire did that, America and the UK, they placed these Edomites, modern day Assyrians, placed some of their own, man. These 1948ers in the land, man. And so that's the Assyrian in his land. And upon my mountains tread him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. Verse 26, this is the purpose that is proposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. Verse 27, for Yahweh of hosts has proposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? Who? So, but these devils are trying, man. They're trying their best. And this is why they're in a mad rush, to bring about that new world order, man. Bring about that great reset. He's trying to hit reset on his time, man. This is why he's doing it. But this devil, he's through, man. He ain't gonna accomplish, man, what he's trying to accomplish, man. He's going to be rudely interrupted when he tries, man. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be his straits. In the fullness of their sufficiency Job 20:22. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, power Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. When he is about to fill his belly, man, power Yahweh is going to cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him when he is eating, while he is eating. Verse 24, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow still shall strike him through. Verse 25, it is drawn, shall flee from the iron weapon, these nukes, and the bow still shall strike him through. You know, really, hey, Yahweh Shai, you know, he's well, I always bring this out how Superman is called Kal El, really is Kal Allah. When you look into it, El is just like a Yiddish type form of that, but it's like not the real way of saying it. You know, it's Kal Allah, and it would be Kal Allah in the ancient Hebrew, all power, like as an all powerful, all power. You know, and you know, he comes from. He's not from here. Comes over here, and you know, his weakness is kryptonite, which is sin, but, you know, we're no longer going to go off no more. You know, Yahweh Shai and the elect, man. You know, and he's called what? The man of steel. The bow is still striking through. You know, and also, you know, for these devils that don't have an adequate bunker and shit, you know, they're going to be destroyed by the nukes. And these sellout celebrities as well, man. And these heathen elites that are not all the way up there. Verse 25, it is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yeah, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. Verse 26, all darkness shall be hid in his secret places. You know, the sword, the nukes, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. Verse 26, it is all darkness shall be hidden in secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with them that is left in his tabernacle. Verse 27, the heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. Verse 28, the increase of his house shall depart, and his good shall flow away in the day of his wrath, and earth shall rise up against him. Guess what? You know, these nations, as well as the animals and shit, the beasts, and the heaven shall reveal his iniquity. The internet, man. The internet, man. It's powered by them satellites, man. His increase of his house shall depart, and his good shall flow away in the day of his wrath. Verse 29, this is a portion of a wicked man from power Yahweh, and her heritage appointed unto him by power Yahweh. Yo. So with that, you know, that's coming. You know, first he's going to come down with great wrath. You know, we got to issue that warning, man. So y'all can't say y'all wasn't warned. You know, no, the blood is off our hands. Shalom, stay strong. So I hope this live was it. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire in all truth and in all sincerity. And shalom to the real sisters out there. You know, as well as you know, hope this live was edifying to the elect. Shalom, stay strong. Yashrala forever, Abba Bal, Abala Adwamium, Abala Gawayim, you know, Abala 2/3, man. You know, Shalom. Yeah, you know, stay strong. We almost out of here. You know, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it. The next, you know, Shalom, you know, stay strong. We're almost at the end. Abba Bal. And Yashrala forever. Shalom, shalom. Stay strong and stay up. You know, look up for thy redemption is nigh. Shalom. Stay strong. Okay.